Mbappe got into a fight with the PSG President. What's going on in Paris? Mourinho returns to coaching. Erik ten Hag made a big announcement that surprised everyone. Robert Lewandowski, new club. All this and much more on tonight's edition. Be sure to like, click on the bell and subscribe. Have you done it yet? Then we can get started. According to the publication Diario Sport, Xavi has decided to part ways with Robert Lewandowski. The Spanish coach is convinced that the forward will be unable to regain his previous level of performance, deeming the current moment the most opportune for a farewell. Reports suggest that next week, Robert's representative Pini Zahavi will meet with Barcelona's sporting director to conclusively resolve all matters. Xavi intends to revamp the team's attacking tactics. And in this new scheme, there is no room for Lewandowski. The decision appears well-founded. We are not debating Xavi's new tactics, as little is known about the details, but rather addressing the necessity of parting ways with Lewandowski. Despite the seeming abruptness, Robert's utility has diminished significantly. His salary substantially burdens the club's finances. It is understandable that if he were younger, the decline in productivity could be remedied, but Robert will turn 36 years old. While he may be at the peak of his form, relying on his performance in the new season is no longer prudent. Having such a player in the squad is an enticing prospect, but under financial constraints, Barcelona cannot afford such a luxury. Robert holds the second highest contract in La Liga after Alaba. According to press reports, Barcelona must pay him around 60 million euros for the remaining 2 years of his contract. However, is it worth the investment? We are convinced it is not. The time has come for both Barcelona and Lewandowski to move forward. Several MLS clubs have already expressed interest in the striker, and rumors suggest a potential return to Dortmund or a move to Atletico Madrid. Thus, there is no need to worry about Robert's future. He will find a place to continue his career. Kylian Mbappe has announced his intention to leave the football club Paris Saint-Germain. However, the talented striker was unable to bid a proper farewell to the club's loyal fans. As it turns out, the responsibility for this lies with the player himself. According to information received from Le Parisien, the PSG management was stunned by Kylian's recent video message. Did the club's leadership believe he would stay? Or did they still have a chance to organize a farewell for the forward? The match against Toulouse was the final home game of the current season. Quite peculiar insider information, but Mbappe should not harbor resentment or regret not being able to make a spectacular departure from the team. Ahead lies a game for Real Madrid and a rivalry with Barcelona, which has already begun its battle against Donatello. As reported by Diario Sport, there is discontent within the ranks of the Catalans regarding a bill that the Spanish press was quick to dub the Mbappe Law. Barcelona is set to exert all efforts to get this legislative act repealed. The autonomous community of Madrid is considering a law that allows foreigners or Spaniards returning to their homeland to be exempt from a portion of tax obligations. Without delving into details, to put it succinctly, taxes in Spain are paid in two parts: one national, uniform for everyone, and another, regional, dependent on the place of residence. Thanks to the new law, Mbappe, along with other affluent individuals deciding to settle in Madrid, will be able to reduce their regional tax rate by 20%. At first glance, this might not seem like much. However, in practice, it involves substantial sums, especially when considering the salaries of footballers. All Madrid players, and those planning to move to Spain, will take this into account. The Blaugrana believe that this will significantly complicate their life in the transfer market. What is truth? Now, Real Madrid will be a couple of miles ahead. Possibly Atletico Madrid as well. Thanks to the previous, I'm almost certain that this law will contribute to transforming the creamy whites into another state-sponsored club. Yes, undoubtedly, the Meringues will receive a fantastic bonus, which will delight Kylian Mbappe's mother. Another coach who is facing questions, albeit to a lesser extent than Erik ten Hag, is Jose Mourinho. According to Turkish media reports, he is in negotiations with Fenerbahce, a club that is eager to capture his attention and secure his services. Recently, Mourinho stated that he does not intend to take a break from coaching and desires to resume work as soon as possible. In all likelihood, choosing a new team is not far off for him. Despite the respect for Fenerbahce, it is difficult to call this club a suitable option for Mourinho unless he receives exceptionally favorable conditions from them. Otherwise, he might want to consider Saudi Arabia. Nevertheless, we believe that Jose is still capable of leading a major club, such as Manchester United, where he is rumored to be ready to return. He would also fit well at Chelsea, where he has already worked. The option with Bayern, who are looking for a new coach, seems more controversial but also possible. No one has won the Champions League the way I have, Mourinho claims, emphasizing that his experience could be useful for Bayern, who are striving to win this tournament. Although the option with the Munich club seems unlikely, Jose should not be discounted. He is an outstanding coach who has proven his mastery. Of course, there have been periods of failure. As with everyone, Ancelotti is also praised, although he failed to achieve significant success at Napoli or Everton. It is doubtful that Guardiola would be able to lead Roma to the top of Serie A. So, Jose, we believe in you and look forward to your return to one of the big clubs. Renowned journalist Fabrizio Romano, specializing in football transfers, recently met with rising star of the world football, Kylian Mbappe. During their conversation, the Italian insider managed to uncover a few interesting facts. Romano reported that over the past 2 years, Mbappe has not engaged in negotiations with any clubs in the English Premier League. The only option for the forward was Real Madrid, as he did not want to disappoint Real Madrid's president Florentino Perez, again after the events of June 2022. Additionally, a warm relationship has developed between the official and the player. Mbappe even turned down an offer from Saudi sheikhs, who were ready to pay him €200 million per year in order to make the move to Real Madrid. It turned out, however, that the financial aspect of the issue was not indifferent to the forward. According to L'Equipe, before the match against Toulouse, PSG President Nasser Al-Khelaifi and Mbappe intensely discussed the terms of contract termination. The conversation was so heated that their shouts could be heard beyond the room. The Alep Parisian portal claims that Al-Khelaifi was extremely dissatisfied with the fact that in the farewell video, Kylian did not mention his name even once. The club president took this as a personal insult and demanded an explanation from the player less than an hour before the game with Toulouse. The conversation took place in a private room, and at some point, the verbal exchange escalated into a physical altercation. An eyewitness reported that the clash between Mbappe and Al-Khelaifi made the walls shake. As a result of the confrontation, the team came out to warm up 4 minutes later than scheduled. What a clash of passions! A fight between the club's star player and the aggrieved boss. A plot worthy of a sports drama on Netflix. We eagerly await more details of this episode, although they will likely try to hush it up. But if the official appears in public with a black eye, Florentino Perez will surely offer Kylian better terms. Firstly, because Al-Khelaifi is a staunch opponent of the Super League idea. Erik ten Hag, the head coach of Manchester United, responded in a rather unusual manner to the harsh criticism from fans calling for his dismissal. "I have never regretted for a moment my decision to take charge at Manchester United. This is a colossal club. You can't foresee the obstacles you'll face until you're inside this organization, but I was ready to embrace this challenge. I see some comments suggesting it's time to fire me. Either these people know nothing about football or they understand nothing about managing a football team. I believe many recognize the issues Manchester United faces and thus view my work with understanding," said Ten Hag, as reported by renowned journalist Fabrizio Romano. In other words, if you don't like something, it means you simply don't comprehend it. A curious stance. But how could someone be satisfied with an 8th place in the tournament table and a negative goal difference? Especially considering the significant amounts the club has spent in the transfer market. How can such a state of affairs be agreeable? Evidently, Ten Hag has quite specific preferences and an approach to his duties. Ten Hag must leave, he has proven his incompetence, and the team is regressing. The fact that this poser has spoken about it now only confirms this thesis. Neville is incapable of anything. He just tells everyone else what they should be doing. He's like the football version of Elon Musk. Ten Hag will not lead Manchester United to success in the foreseeable future. Neville needs to keep quiet. His achievements post his playing career are haphazard. Joey Barton characterizes Ten Hag's work and all his supporters in this way. We're not as radical in our views, but overall we share his perspective. Something needs to be done about Ten Hag. The trend at Manchester United is that they are regressing, and this is alarming. It can't be ignored. All factors point to this. Everything is crystal clear. Just look at their performance in the Champions League, evaluate their results in the Premier League. 13 losses and a goal difference of 3. They are in 8th place in the Premier League. A place in the European Cups is not guaranteed for them. There are numerous signs that they are moving in the wrong direction. Upon careful consideration of the unfolding circumstances, you will undoubtedly conclude that Erik ten Hag is unlikely to be the right candidate to lead Manchester United forward on the path of progress. This opinion has already been expressed by former coach Wilf McGuinness. Thus, there are many who are ready to challenge the Dutch specialist's claims that some individuals simply do not have an adequate understanding of the situation. The next step in this story must be taken by Erik ten Hag himself.